All right, it looks like I have low internet. I hope that I have no technical problems with you guys. It looks like I have bad connectivity, but I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So 7344. Well, good morning, everybody. So I have up here um, the schedule of activities. So looking at that, it looks like we're looking for completion of 1-8. Now you have completed 1-7 already, and hopefully you have completed already. And you also worked on the quiz 3. So make sure that you, if you haven't gotten to it, that you already, that you get to it, because you have until this time, but don't ever wait until the due date, because the due dates seem a little funny. They contrast and compress or expand at will. It seems weird, the time differences in them. So I didn't set them, somebody else did, and I just kind of wrote on the coattails of somebody else's work. So anyway, make sure you're getting that done. All right, so we're going to take a look at 1-8, which 1-8 deals with what is your type. Now, this deals with Venn diagrams. All right. It's organization of information through Venn diagrams. Now, this activity is really kind of an icebreaker between students a lot of times. Now, granted, I could set up like breakout rooms in here and have you guys discuss, but it just consumes a lot more time than I think that you get anything out of it. Maybe you would, but it's nice when we're together in the classroom. Just let's say that, because we all have different qualities to offer. I know I'm personally an extrovert. I absolutely love people. So I am very bubbly. I get into people's business, not to be mean or malicious, but to, be genuinely concerned about the welfare of all people. I want to help if I can. I want to offer advice if or a different perspective. So I sometimes get a little personal with people. I ask them how you're doing and things like that. Like, I get in people's business. And for some people, they're like, no way would I ever want to do that. I don't even like people that much. I sometimes jokingly say that. So I go ahead and think of introverts. All right. So, there's different people, right? Hold on one second. All right. So you look at comparing people's differences, right? And then also, it says those are women have um, when we have a gut feeling about something. Um, Women tend to have this more so than men, I guess. Um, it's like, because women are tendency of, they're like the protectors of our children and stuff like that. Like they can sense when things are wrong, when things are bad, with like, and I don't know what is wrong with guys, but guys are so linear. They don't think the same as women. I mean, it's just weird how different men and women are. But women have like that I don't know, gut feeling that 9 out of 10 times is right, and guys are just very they go by the gut feeling, and or not gut feeling, because that's the women, that's the inside thing. But men are just seeming to just take in information and deal with the consequences of what's in front of them. And it's just weird how I love the differences that makes it special. um Thinking versus feeling. And so it's so funny, it's like the feeling part goes into the intuition, right? You're feeling something and it's moving your emotion, whereas you know thinking about something causes we can know who you are. And sometimes people need to take personality tests for this. Really, they do. About what's going on here with regards to how people are processing and who people are and things like that. So I just want you to hold on one second. I'm sorry, somebody's texting me and it's important. Okay, so now when you are doing this, right? You're looking at creating Venn diagrams. All right, linking things together. All right, and people have, in order to do this, right, you have to be in the same class. Look at this, right? This can't be done without you guys being together. And if you were to compare, like, oh, you have this and I have that, I'm an introvert, you're an extrovert, whatever, then you can go ahead and start giving yourself letters and seeing where you have commonalities. All right. So this can't be done without being together, right? So it's a shame, but when you're looking at a Venn diagram, a set is properties that make up a um, value system. Like, for example, like the presidents of the United States, right? They range elements, okay, to that, which is a collection of all the U.S. presidents, and you can well define it. All right, you can well define that value system. If I said the days of the week, well, I can go ahead and define the days of the week, the months of the year. So those become what we call elements, all right, or members of the set. And we can express that in roster method form, all right? Now, roster method is like if I had the days of the week would be obviously Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So I would go ahead and list my roster of all the things. Now it says use the roster method to list the elements of this left circle. And well, left circle A. Well, the answers may vary because of the personality types, but you're talking about here, right? And of course, the answers are going to vary. But we talk about the left circle, or I mean the right circle or the left circle, all right? And so Patrick in this case would be the one. But I mean, you would all these answers are varied because they want students to interact with each other. And then a universal set is all things, all the objects within that defined set. Whereas a subset is like identified here as just the left circle or the right circle. So it's a smaller part of the whole. If you have two things involved, this is one part and this is one part. All right. But then you have all parts defined in the universal. This is the whole entire universal. So you'd have to list all elements in the entire rectangle. Whereas the subsets of those is just a smaller part would be just say Patrick, for example's personality, and not the Arlene, taking Arlene's personality in effect. All right. So you look at the universal set, and the complement to a set is that anything that is part of the universal is part of the bigger grand scheme of it all. But if you were looking at, let's say, Patrick, the complement to Patrick is making then you're looking at T. It looks like an I or something. I don't know what that is. Maybe that I. Introvert. See, all you're doing is listing all these letters. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here are 6 letters, 7 letters, 8 letters. So these are all the letters. That's the universe. So the complement to Patrick would be all the letters not part of his. It says right here that the complement is a set of all. The complement of set A is denoted by A prime. So A prime. Well, the answers may vary again, which is unfortunate here. But if we go back to here, to the sample given here, all right, because this would be just an example. The complement to A would be, and Patrick would be the this left circle, so he would be A. Set A is NPEF, so therefore the complement would be ISJT. All the letters that are part of the personality test that are not part of Patrick's. So that's the way you can look at these words, and you can then begin to find out that universal is all the letters in the personality test, and the complements are the subdivisions of them. And you can get into Venn diagrams in respects to 3 circles. This one deals with, like right here, if you were doing another, if you got 3 people together, and students did this together. It was a fun activity when students get together and do this in class. But then they say, all right, complete the Venn diagram. A is like to study late at night, like to study early in the morning, because you can't be both. Or maybe a person. I don't like to study. So I don't like to get it done early. I get it done mediocre. I don't like getting. Sometimes you don't have enough time, or sometimes you just feel lazy. But I mean, there are some cool things here that could be part of making you maybe all showing. Then it'll be like these letters. Letter. And I skipped over was the intersection. The intersection of A and B is where they overlap, and A intersecting B is denoted by the language here, or this symbolization right here, and you can see that right here. So now the intersection is going to be region 2. Region 2. All right. And then 14, it says a set of elements that are in at least one set, A and B, is called a union of A and B. So union is this right here. So it's at least one set of A and B. So it's you basically, I say to students, it's everything defined in both sets. So it would be region 1, 2, and 3 here, and that's what the answer is when you go ahead and unionize it. So you just say everything in the both sets. Right here it says write the appropriate description next to the each region. It says the elements in set B and that are not in set A. And then if you look at that, that would be region 2 and 3, right? The elements in set B that are not in A, would be 3. All right. So that's region 3. All right. And it says the elements in both set A and B are going to be 2. And that's why you can see the elements in both set A and B. Region 1 would be the elements in set A that are a universal set that are in neither A nor B is going to be right here. Diagrams, pretty, very, they're not just, numbers and crunching numbers. Perspective. We're going to gain a lot more of this when you get into sets in 2106. Well, now 1106. They just recently have changed it. So program. Yeah, I like Venn diagrams. I think they're pretty cool. I hope you find them pretty easy. And this actually is the last lesson of this particular chapter. We're going to be entering into the test here soon. All right, now we're going to get into some of this language here with prime and everything else. So let me get to my page here. All right, now I'll go ahead and have this and do this. All right. Now, it says for the universal set U, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, complete the parts below. Write your answer in roster form or as 0, well, 0 with this line through it means empty set, by the way. So all these symbols that you guys are, that suppose that you have set A as 4, 5, and 7. I want you to find A prime. Well, the universal set is everything between 2 and 7, basically. But set A doesn't have all of the elements of the universal. It has only the 4, the 5, and the 7. Therefore, the A prime to make the universal whole when adding 4, 5, 7 is to add 2, 3, and 6, right? Because now that will complete our set of the universal. And that's our answer. So we're going to go ahead and put in, and make sure you're using the proper notation right here. Okay. Braces, they're called. Yeah, braces, because it looks like braces on teeth. Okay, so I'm going to put 2, 3, 6. Now we have C prime is already defined as then 2, 5, 6, 7. So C must mean that it is 3 and 4, because we don't have those two numbers here. We have 2, and complete the universal by adding those two values in there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in this right here because it's easier. So I'm going to type it. 3 and 4. All right. Go ahead and check. Let's go. All right. See, it's pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, once you understand what you're looking at, the vocabulary and stuff like that. Now it says a country is planning to expand its train service. All right. Well, it's actually county, but in studying the current services, the county planner looked at which train station are along along or not along various train lines. The Venn diagram shows the information in three of the lines. So here are 3 lines: orange line, green line, and blue line. To select all the trains, all right, all the train lines that do not have a stop at Zama. All right, so let's look at the train lines. There's, all right, orange line, green line, or blue line. Zama here, then it's going to be blue line only that doesn't have a stop at Zama. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put blue line. How many stations are along the orange line or the blue line or both? So it's basically, when we're talking about or, it's basically everything in these. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The orange line and the blue line. Not and, but blue line or the line. Orange line or the blue line. So neither the orange line nor the green line nor the blue line. And so looking at, they're not on any of these. So then it's going to be these 3 that are over here. And I'm going to go ahead and choose those 3. And I'm done. Just reading, and I mean, even my reading's terrible, but my voice hurts. All right. We have these red line and blue line. How many stations are along the red line? Well, how many stations? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many stations are along red line or the blue line or both? So that's already the 5 here. And then we have 6, 7, and 8. Trenton and, or yeah, Trento and Oaken. So we're going to look at those 2. I mean, what weird words. I mean, I don't know how to read that well, I guess, but it makes me feel like an idiot when I don't know how to read. But oh well. Not like I would ever read these funny words that often. All animals. I like animals better than train stations. So we're looking at turtles, otters, rabbits, quails. Select all the doctors who treat quails. Well, all the doctors treat quails, right? Because it's in the middle. So all of them treat quails. How many types of animals are treated only by Dr. Lopez? So Dr. Lopez right here, it's only 2 of them. Maybe I can. Now, which type of animals are treated only by one of the 3 doctors? Dr. Lopez, Dr. Prowl, or Dr. Perez? Now, which types of animals are treated only by one of the 3 doctors? So we're looking at only one doctor, and you're looking at the turtles, the otters, the dogs, the iguanas, snakes, and mice, because they're only treated by one doctor. That's what they're looking for. So we're going to put in turtles, otters, iguanas, snakes. I think I saw mice. Yeah, I got to go in. Oh, there it is, mice, dogs, and what else? Snakes. I got snakes. Oh, there it is, snakes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should get that one right now. All right, cool. Got that one correct. See, this is pretty, it's neat. You got to be patient with yourself. Don't, if you get it wrong, all right, it's because you probably misread it. It's easy to misread. I get it wrong because of that reason. Select all the genres from Kira that Kira likes. All right, so Kira is we're talking about genres. Okay, so genres that Kira likes. Okay, here's Kira. She likes all three of these, right? Because she's in the middle. So genres would be she likes all of them. How many students like drama or comedy or both? So like drama or comedy, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. So you just got to count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which students only like one of the three genres, drama, comedy, or fantasy? Choose all that apply. So again, this kind of like follows along with what we talked about before. Which students only like one of the three genres? And Carmen likes comedy. Uh, just fantasy. Okay, I've already done one of these already, but I mean, it's pretty simple. We need 3 elements because there's 5 elements. That would be 6, 7, and 8. And then B would be only one item because, whoops, only one item. Because there's already 5, 6, we're missing 7. All right, that should be pretty straightforward now that I've explained it to you. All right, I think I've done enough of these, but I mean, do you need me to do more? I mean, just let me know because I mean, I don't want to be wasting our time together. If you need me to do it, like just say, hey, Mr. D, I need you to do it because it's good information. I mean, but I think you could figure it out, right? That's the thing. I don't want to be just spoon feeding it to you. I want you to try to figure it out. All right, so nobody spoke up, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on. How many students do 49 people survey, right? And it says do not drink coffee. What you could do to do this problem is that you can just take the value of the 449 and it says how many students do not like drinking coffee. Then you can go ahead and just, well, actually, you don't even need to do that. How many students do not drink coffee? Just add 97 and 87 together. So you don't even have to do anything with the 49, but just take 97, add it to 87. So you just put 184, and that's your answer. How many students drink both tea and coffee? So drink tea and coffee would be 66 people drink both those two things. How many students drink coffee or tea or coffee or both? So that would be just adding all these 3 numbers together. And this is where I was going to say, or you can simply, rather than adding all this together, is take 449 and minus 87. That's a fast way of doing it. So you get 362. So again, this is about reading. Now, this one says intersection. All right, we talked about that briefly. All right, intersection is where they match. That's the key word I want you to think about, where they match. So they match, and we got to put in roster form to match at -1. You see the -1 in both of them. You see that 0 is in both of them. You see 3 is in both of them. And you see that 8 is in both of them. That's where they match. Whereas a union, all right, is everything without repeating. So -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. That's where you describe, or you write down, when the union, you write down everything without repeating. See, and then intersection is where they match. So I simplified that in very simple words, didn't I? So I'll say that one more time. Intersection is where they match. Union is everything without repeating it. Repeating any element. I mean, I don't know how else to say that, but. All right, and I'm going to let you guys this one. All right, I think you guys can count and add and use a calculator. How many of the participants had fatigue? So you just add up all these 4 numbers together. How many of the participants had neither fatigue nor anxiety? So that would be everybody that had nausea and these people. So you'd add. So you guys can figure that out. All right, this one's kind of like the one that we did before. Now, give the set of servers who served more than 30 customers at lunch. So at lunch, set, okay, so we need to do a set of servers who served, give the set of servers who served more than 30 customers at lunch. Use roster form for your sets. So it's going to be definitely Ann. She served more. Bob. All right. Juan. Yoko. Chua. Or Chawu. I mean, however you want to say that. And that is it. But now here I got a problem. I don't have my commas. I need to get commas in here. All right. So that's the answer that we're looking for, A. Give the set of servers who served more than 70 customers at dinner. So I need to, whoops. There we go. All right. Now that would be Ann. I'm just going to put them in. Then I'll go ahead and put the commas in later. I'm tired of worrying about that. So Ann, more than 70, Bob, and that's it. All right. So, wow, that's not a very long list. All right. And that's it. So that's how we work on that. Now, this activity is kind of cool. I like this a lot. So what you do here for this kind of activity is you're just sliding in the things like, first, what I do is I work from the inside out. So I go, do they have any matches? Like, look at 9. 9 is everything, is in all of them, right? 9 is in all of them. Now, I go ahead and look for anything else where they have something that's common to all of them. And I can't see anything else. So now I'm looking for, okay, I see that W and Y have 2 and 2. So I'm going to put W and Y, I'm going to put 2 here. I'm looking at W and Y and I don't see anything else that they have in common. All right, other than the 9, which we've already declared. Now for Y and Z, I see that they have 6. Y and Z have 6. All right. I don't see anything else other than the 9 and 9, which we've already got as well. Now between W and Z, all right, I see the 1 is common between them all, both those. All right. And I don't see anything else in common except for the 9. So see, that's what I'm trying to do. Now I go back and say, well, 3 is not in any of these. So 3 is going to be on the outside, anywhere on the outside. I mean, it just dropped it here. Now, what about 4? 4 is common to Z only. 5 is common to W. You see W has 5. And then 7 is in Y. And then 8 is in Z. So I have 8 in Z as well. And there's our answer. That's all we had to do. We had to use up all of our numbers in finding out. So it's a fun activity. All right. It really is. Manipulating, just kind of moving. So it's kind of fun to me. It's easy. It's not like it's any real math. If you like any kind of board game, you like that kind of stuff. All right, looks like I have a technical problem. Maybe he doesn't like me this time. Something's goofy right now. But I could stop this and move it on, but I've covered a majority of the material. I mean, I've done a great deal of material. I mean, are there any questions about Venn diagrams? Because I mean, it seems like I'm having technical problems. I don't want to hold you up. Okay, there's no questions. I'm going to go ahead and suspend this since I'm having technical problems moving forward. But if you do have any questions, just let me know. I mean, this is a really engaging concept, and I think that you'll enjoy it. So go ahead and definitely attempt 1-8. Now coming back to just where we are as far as the courses, I just wanted to reiterate that we have a test review that must, I know, let's look at this right here. We're gonna have a test review on the 2nd. It doesn't indicate that, but the test review will happen on the 2nd of February, and our test will be on the 4th. So next Thursday is our test. All right. So just be aware of that, that's happening, and you'll be fine. All right. Have yourself a wonderful evening.